morning, sir. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Great. Enter the vehicle using 3 points of contact. Gonna check my trailer service, my parking service, and my selector down. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna properly secure this vehicle. Put it in first gear. Key back in my pocket. 3 points of contact exiting the vehicle. Going to secure my vehicle with a set of chocks. Three points of contact. Trailer service brake, selector switch down, parking brakes out still. I'm gonna go ahead and do a safe start on this vehicle. ABS light is indicated and cycled, on and off. Here to do my Massachusetts air brake test to start. I'm gonna refill and reset my tanks to 120. All right, I have full tanks. My first test will be a governor cut-in test. I'll release my parking brake and trailer brake and drop below 100 PSI. At that point, my governor should kick in and I should start to build pressure. I'm going to assist with my service brake to get below 100 PSI. At 100 PSI, I've started to build pressure. I know this because my needle is rising. I'm now going to do the governor cutout test. At approximately 120 to 125 PSI, my governor should cut out. At 120 PSI, my governor's kicked out. I know this because I've stopped building pressure and my needle has stopped rising. I'll now shut the vehicle off, put it to the on position, and see where my tank stabilizes at before I start my 3 PSI brake loss test, air loss test. My vehicle stabilized at 120 PSI. I will now release my parking brake and my trailer brake. I should have an initial loss of no more than 5 to 15 PSI. Starting 120. It is now at 110. That's a loss of 10 PSI, which is within the 5 to 15. I will now start my 3 pound PSI air loss test for 1 minute, starting now. My 1 minute is up. I'm still at 110 psi, which is a loss of 0 with the 3 that's allowed. I'll now proceed to my 4 psi pressure loss test. I'll start this by applying my service brake, 90 foot-pounds of pressure, with an initial loss of no more than 5 to 15 pounds. (100 psi), which is a loss of 10 pounds. I'll now start my 4 psi air loss test for 1 minute starting now. My 1 minute's up. I have a loss of 2 pounds. I'm at 98 pounds. So that's within the 4 pounds that's allowed. At this point, I'm gonna do my air tank recovery my air pressure alarm warning system. I should be looking for a buzzer and a light that should come on between 60 and 70 psi. I'm gonna simulate this test by lightly pressing the brake pedal, service pedal, until the alarm goes off. My alarm and buzzer have both gone off on both tanks at 65 psi, which is within the 60 to 70 psi that's allowed. At this point, I'll do my emergency spring brake test. With this test, my emergency spring brake should deploy between 20 and 45 psi. I'm going to simulate this test by rapidly pressing the brake pedal to simulate rapid air loss. Okay, at 25 psi, both of my emergency spring brakes have deployed, which is between the 20 and 45 that's allowed. For my next test, I'm going to do a compressor recovery test. With this test, I'm going to go ahead and start the engine, rev the engine between 11 and 1400 RPMs until I get to 85 psi. At that point, I will go into idle, and I'll time myself within 45 seconds to build pressure to 100. PSI starting now. I must build to 100 within 45 seconds. I've reached 100 psi in 22 seconds, which is within the 45. I'll now reset and refill my tank back to 120. Before I start my 4-point brake test, I'll safely secure my vehicle and remove my chocks. Put it in first gear. Key in my pocket. Exiting the vehicle with 3 points of contact. Three points of contact, entering the vehicle. Checking my trailer service, checking my parking brakes again to pull out. Selector switches down. I'll now do a safe start on the vehicle. ABS indicator light has come on and come off, cycling, indicating that it's working properly. For my first test, I'm going to test my trailer parking brake. I'm going to do this by going into first gear and releasing my tractor parking brake and giving a slight tug. Okay, we didn't go anywhere. That indicates it's working. I'm going to do the same thing for my tractor parking brake by releasing my trailer parking brake. I'm going to give a slight tug. Okay, we didn't go anywhere. That's indicating that's working properly. I'll now, before my next two tests, I'll go ahead and recharge and reset my tanks back to 120 psi. My tanks are full, 120. My next test, I'll go ahead and release my parking brake and my trailer parking brake, and I will go ahead and test my trailer service brake by going 5 miles an hour forward and applying it. We came to a stop. That's indicating that my trailer service brake is working properly. My next test, I will check my service parking brake. My service brake. I'll do this by going 5 miles an hour forward and do the same thing. Okay, we've stopped, indicating that my service brake is working properly. Also, my steering wheel did not pull from to left to right, indicating that my brakes are properly adjusted and within spec. This concludes my Massachusetts air brake test.